Mapia Wabero Kinubaro me Uganda, we will have the national anthem sung and later on Acholi anthem.
We further appreciate you for the flagship programs that have been implemented in Operation Wealth Creation, Myoga, Youth Livelihood, Women Fund, NUSAF, Peace and Recovery Program, and above all, the Paris Development Model. Your Excellency, just a brief history that the collapse of the livestock economy in the Acholi sub-region started way back in 1979 during a Amin Liberation War. And by 1988, almost all the livestock in the Acholi sub-region were systematically wiped out. Over the years, Your Excellency, there were about 4 main broad dimensions or categories of how these animals were systematically taken away from the population. Category 1 was by the National Resistance Army. Category 2 was by the rebel group of the Uganda People Democratic Army. Category 4 was by the Holy Spirit Mobile Force of Alice Lakwena and the Lord's Resistance Army of Joseph Kony. And then category 4 was by the Karamojong. And these cattle, Your Excellency, were either forcefully taken or through signed agreements with the promise that the owners would be compensated after the war. Your Excellency, this issue was included, if you remember, you recall, in the peace agreement of 1988, which was led by Okelukano, and the Juba Agreement of 2007. And also in the High Court of Nobel Diera and 7 others versus Attorney General under civil suit application number 037 of 2006, and the latest civil appeal number 92 of 2022. Your Excellency, since this issue started, the Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs in response budgeted for 200 billion to pay cattle composition in the financial year 2021-2022. I also want to highlight here that, Your Excellency, this financial year, as a parliament, we passed a budget of 150 billion, which will be used for the compensation of these lost animals. Out of this, Your Excellency, so far the money spent in the Acholi sub-region is 159.50 billion Uganda shillings, which was released to pay 159.50 was released for the compensation process of 28,281 claimants. And out of these, 4,836 were from Acholi sub-region, who received 44 billion Uganda shillings. So far, Your Excellency, the money spent on this compensation is actually 44 billion Uganda shillings in Acholi sub-region.
But I also would like to say, education is a very key issue in Acholi sub-region. A lot of our young people drop out. Yet if we want quality population, nobody should be left behind. All our children must access education, but because of poverty, our children cannot access education.
But I want to acknowledge one thing, Your Excellency, that in this region of Northern Uganda, we have started now working together. Opposition, people in the party of NRM, the cultural leaders, the religious leaders, the opinion leaders. In fact, we are now working together on the issues of this region, Your Excellency. The entire one day was devoted by the bishops to study how they can work with you and government in mobilizing the Christians, not only Christians, the Muslims, and others, on wealth and job creation. And Your Excellency, I'm very happy to share with you now that the church, the mosques, the cultural institutions are now taking up roles to play in these two activities. In the Church of Uganda, in the province of Northern Region here, where there are 6 dioceses, Bishop Lowum, who is seated here, is now the head of promotion of coffee growing in Northern Uganda. And he has started it, and they're already doing it. Every day he keeps demanding for the seeds and seedlings of coffee. And in all these areas, Your Excellency, we have had discussions with the cultural institutions and leaders in all sections. Your Excellency, I want to thank you very, very much. There's something in this region which they say, Dor tuchute Diri tuchute bul. Mean bull. The continuous beating of the skin of the drum. However hard it is, but one day it perforates it. At least your word now, your message on wealth and just question in this region, Your Excellency, has reached every household in this country, in this region. If there's anybody who has never heard your message, then he's underage, or he's either in prison, but I'm sure even those in prison have heard your message about wealth creation. What we have now to do, Your Excellency, is to continue working together to ensure that there's peace and stability in this region and mobilizing and including everybody in this effort.
In March 2022, Your Excellency, our President, you launched the cattle compensation payment exercise at Soroti University. A budget of 200 billion was made, and since then, we have received 159.5 billion shillings towards compensation. And out of the 159.5 billion shillings, the Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs has paid out 158.31 billion, while 280.28 million has, the Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, I beg your pardon, has paid out 158.31 billion to 28,281 individual claimants. A few payments have bounced due to invalid account details, dormant accounts, accounts closed, and other reasons. Sometimes you find when we look at the biodata given to us in the data cards, you find that the claimants are minors.
On cattle compensation, we commend you for settling the matter out of court in 2006, but the compensation process has been slow due to factors like corruption, both at local and national government level, and those people and other people and agencies responsible, which has kept genuine claimants waiting for too long, and also it involved ghost claimants. It is important to note that some claimants in Acholi have been paid more than 50% of their claims since 1994 through the Military Compensation Committee based in Bombo by then. Other claimants have received not more than 2,000 shillings since the process began. There seems to be some discrepancy in the list held by the government and that held by the wounded claimants. This needs to be harmonized and made known to all stakeholders. We therefore suggest that government should expedite the process sequentially by, for example, first clearing the aged claimants of 65 years and above, and those with claims of 20 cattle and below, and then probably consider those with 50 animals, so that every financial year a certain category is compensated. It is my belief that in the next 4 financial years, the process would have been completed.
So we ask for your indulgence that you also consider those other issues which were not on the agenda. Mr. President, this is your meeting. You convened it in your capacity as the head of the homestead we call Uganda. This homestead has many households. You listened to complaints. There has been grumbling in the compound concerning this sticking issue of cattle compensation, and you directed that those who are concerned should meet you directly so that this matter is settled once and for all. It's not our intention to distort the main purpose of this meeting. This should be first things first. Your Excellency, Acholi land was known for agro-pastoralism. We are cultivators, we are also cattle keepers. Because of insecurity resulting from our kind of messy politics, a subject that you will elaborate on in detail when you address us, we lost our livestock. So now, instead of selling cows to solve our problems, we started selling the food which we should be eating. Then we faced food insecurity because of that. That is how we ended up having World Food Program coming to distribute food in the most fertile part of Uganda, which was indeed a scandal.
She was talking about education and how many children are missing education and they are having their future ruined.
Kita chalo tino mapol mam yor berigang kwan yo me kwano loyagyo anyim giti kalore ko wako.
This is the problem of many tongues spoiling the porridge.
Eno ni meno gin matika nywane malupa ki le mapapat matika balo nyoga magitika gurne.
The NRM is always very clear and correct also.
Party me NRM tie kineno ma tie anyim maleng dak pol kare jeme matime weng tie ma tuolo matika maleng.
But when it comes to implementation, many of the people refuse to implement free education.
Ento ka o kerne teach jomapol pe kere loki ene weng I teach ene pe ko madong tie.
In the government schools,
School pagamente petika time.
they refuse.
Go kwero kerne teach ko.
So we have to, when it is very extreme, we use force, as you know, you can use force. When it is extreme, we can use force, but not all the time can you use force.
Kita do to tek to twal majo ma mi ro kere teach petika kerne ne mero dongiti gi kero I kete tek I teach.
So in this case, I've been begging people, please implement free education.
Pol kare bere bagodoge ni otimbe oket lok me kwan me no teach.
Because other things can wait, but children don't wait. If they don't go to school, they grow, they get out of time for education.
Jeme u kwena te ver korne ento ka kwan palotino peramo korne pien ka go dongo anyim gi palle ko ka go donda mo kwan.
The Banyankore say you bend a tree when it is still not dry. If it is dry, you can't bend it. If you try to bend it when it is dry, it breaks.
Ilema mekgi bod nyankole ge wajane yat ka for diak gomane yot endo ka do tuo ke we gom non tora.
So here the issues are two.
Eni dong tie lo gario ke ken.
Number one, why have people refused to implement free education in government schools?
Me achel pingo jo ma mi ro ket lok me kwan lu mu me nono pegetika kerne teach pingo pegetika kerne teach.
And whom are they keeping out of of school. It is the children of the poor.
Jo maginti awe kwan ke balane tie lutino palochan ene kwan ke tika bale.
But the next point involved is the budgeting.
Me ario lok mapira tek ene ker chilling me ker Gemini egone etich.
The big mistake are people who put pressure on us to touch too many things. Do this one, do this one, do this one.
Pa ko matong tia kela yela cha me budget ene ni Jimmy maluak mendo ke ker tich do duong rotwal umio balo budget me kwan nako.
And yet we have been advising you that we, in our heritage of resistance, we always do one thing at a time.
Ober kamini utam ni maluba ke te kwar wakiro wachako ke lok me resistant Jimmy ke timo kore ke kore ke tima chiel kata ke kupe mukena endo pe chako lumugu.
That's how we succeeded.
Ena umio lwen mamego tum mabe yen gibera temne kore.
Touch this one, touch this one, touch this one. How would you manage?
Endo kade mere gudo Jimmy weng la wa chiel temren lo yego piano do duong ma okaro.
Our war is in the parliament. She knows the budgeting.
Ona bo beta wolti parliament ngeo kidmete mo budget mabe mada.
Yes, this is the indiscipline, lack of focus. This one.
Eno ni pero madonga ke parliament pien waro pe good kind balo budget dong mi otia bale.
So she actually reminded me. I said, "Oh, okay, thank you very much for reminding me."
Opoe me poe uya tamu mi ragam loke ni beta ole chana gam.
The people blocking the future of our children are the ones who refuse to implement UPE in the schools, but also the ones who misbudget. Do this. Please, those can wait.
Jo matika balo kwan lumugu ene ma chel jo madege kerol kwan lumugu teach ki mario jo matika balo kite budget ke merke tim je mapol la wa chel yene tika balo lok me kwan lumugu mano romo konyo lwak.
Now we are now talking of peace. There is peace in the country.
Watia wayendo mkujong tie lobo kujong tie Uganda.
But this peace came from focusing. So please get the culture of budgeting by prioritization.
Kwan diro ni Kenyo unen riago manane e chako ke timu je mapira tek ke doga je mukere ni ene wego timu je doga yot.
Even when you are walking, one foot on the ground, one foot up.
Karibe tiga wot kane tiena chelo ber chinga chel malo ene yomar yot me wot me chera nyember kidmeno.
When the other one comes down, the other one goes up.
Achel mamale dugu piny me ngome da kupe chera nyim ene mi wot ben ber yot.
You don't put both your legs up that you want to move fast.
Pero mo yiro tiela wa chela rio weng iporo ke ngom pelare me wora nyim.
If you do that, you will end up very badly.
Kaya temo kidmeno iporo maraj mada wot pelare wot loye ko be chera nyim.
So please, let's now in the coming Chisanja, coming term, with our war and everybody, let's concentrate on providing free education in the government schools for the children. With war, the answer is you end the war, bring peace, rehabilitate.
Kidman wen kinapia takerne gigedwen ke gigedwen nene dano kwa ko duguma be kujumir meda nyim ene ginapia tak.
Rehabilitate according to your capacity, according to your budget.
Wa edwago ruampa dano malupe ki chilling matichi ka kerupe no be pelare.
And that's what we were planning.
Ene gin magamento no tika timna eno.
But these people went to court.
Ento jango chero court.
And you remember that time we were still fighting in Sudan.
Kareno lwen beno podua ta wa lwen lo Sudan beno potie.
Because me, I'm always looking for peace. I said, okay, if they have gone to court, let's talk with them.
Kita pol kareno yenyo lo yo me kuch we kuju beri kindano karmena ne court tika meda nyim we ke joglo me court ki pet pengi loga.
That's why they talked and then we agreed. Although me, I was not really convinced that that's the correct way, but if they believe that, let's try it.
Karibe no en peti ki yen ritual ni yone twer twer pero ne ento pe bere we onongi tem katwere ki tieko yo mamul.
And that's how we planned and budgeted for it.
En kita goyo plan no chaka kere, en kita kero chilling chaka kit meno.
But soon we started hearing your problems.
So chorge chaka winyo pega ma polo chaka lok me chol.
First of all, the lawyers.
Ma chel longol kop lo pere da mo berga konyo, jomo mirge cholge pega chaka kenyo.
For them, they were making money for themselves.
Gin no tia tiki yoni en chalme no chilling chingi pege par pelo koko.
They took most of the money.
Pol chilling magi bera chole ginda kwanyo oger waka jebage.
Then, when we came in, that's how this idea of sending money to the accounts came in.
La chen ge tamne to gadong chul chilling ya account pangara chen mati koko. Nyodo konyo.
That's how because originally apparently the money was going through the lawyers, and then they would take all the money.
Pian we ati no chilling worge bolo pirida, and to chilling ginda ngolo wiyo ge tamne to ge chul lo bor ngan mati la koko.
But even with our method of going direct to the beneficiaries, you have heard of the corruption.
Doga ye cha magi tiga chwala chilling go account pangara la koko. Pero do cha biru puda ye da lok me chol. Bien cham chana do ye.
Corruption of mobilizing people to tell lies that then you get money and they take it. Some few people take it.
Ge cha ro yo bodano kin pachi ni we ga cho ni ka cheno biru bori ini mina mukene. And again mukene cha ko timme kid meno.
But even if they were not corrupt and stealing, the process itself is not for our people of the villages.
Karibe ni kid meno kid me cho dan do bala ye pien jo mati charo. Magitigi pero do no kid church petika guru komgi.
Like for instance, when you talk of the powers of administration.
Tutwala chalo jomo kena manodo ngugi yuto dan go to magi mini kero me piru banyani enoni.
Somebody in Yoweri, in my village in Yoweri, those village powers of administration from whom? From the Administrator General. Those are for the Jomukwanos, people who are educated. Now, since we are here, let us solve this problem in the most rational way.
Kerdong wati kany, wagore o kany ka chele, loki en mir wanyam, wabin ki yo mati menen ni cholo war mabe.
That's why I came here, so I want to give you half an hour for people to tell me what to do. The wananchi, you tell me what should we do.
Do embe miyo dake ga piara dek. Weri in meti kenyo ni amalo inyuta mi ngome tamnu mirgetim wek cholo war mabe.
I will sit down and hear what you are saying.
Ende be beru pinyo ho miru winyi lok maaki botu chawane dake ga piara dek.
If you have got some good ideas, walk to the microphone and advise us. Do we continue this way or do we do what?
Your Excellency, the Acholi community suffered more than any other regions. We were here for more than 20 years. Therefore, when you're handling our issues, I urge you have to look at it in a very holistic manner. To complete the compensation in Acholi people lost several things. Therefore, let the government come up with an holistic approach of compensating our people.
I would like to advise or request, if you could allow, let verification be done in the council floor when it is first verified from the local leaders from villages there. If verification can be done from local council, in the council floor, we are able to identify who is the wrong one receiving the money or who is a ghost person receiving the money for claimants.
The issue of, because now there are two issues. One is a flat empowerment for all families reaches everybody. It's better. There is that opinion.
Logme achiel eneni tam tiga katini gichul dano oduju mano dog or achiel wel marom tamen benotia kati.
Which everybody seems to accept.
Nen chalo kita ena winyo kwere dano mapol tika chwakone.
But others say, yes, that one is all right, but also maintain the compensation for these other people.
Ento tam mokene ma jomoken tia kate kwere tia wacho ni be ne gichul orio dujo ento pichul man mediang ma jone donge mogo nyingini umioro gimete gitieko.
But the money of the government is not limitless. If it's too much, the government will not manage.
Ento entika wacho ni kachule tie duong tutwal gamente peromo tiekone.
So that's why it is very crucial that we clean what is going on now as we discuss how to do either, because some people are saying restocking plus compensation for the verified.
Ene wego entika tamone umioro kongi ngi I record matie nyingi ka wego kony pien tam ti ario makwago lok mechul eni kimeneno kit mekonyo odiki odini.
But can the government manage all that?
Ento gamente mono twero chopario eno ni dujo.
So that's why I want a committee to discuss this issue. Two things for today. Audit what has been done, and two, let's discuss how to move in a better way.
Eno wego eni miti jemario mioro time. Me achiel ng'iyo kit machulo waro kwede malupe ki record matie ki me ario neno kit magiromo chopo kwede ki loke.
This is what I propose.
En jemario ma ene tika kati kwede.
Ario.
Logario.
Achiel audit.
Me achiel ng'iyo record matie ne eni.
Audit the 4,000 paid and how much?
Ng'iyo dano alibangwen magechuli ngara achiel gechulo chili adi.
And also audit the 12,000 verified but not yet paid.
Ng'iyo dano alibapa wiario madongi mogo no mioro gichulgi ento pia gechulo gini angagi.
Ario, a committee to see how do we move now.
Logme ario ene committee mo geket meneno dong kagetiego logme achiele dong gichera nyimnining mechopo loke ene.
We have the money and we can budget affordably. We can't do things which will collapse the country.
Chene mere tie ento romo timo jami matwere pege romo chopo jami dujo pe no chene penonge.
But how do we move in a better way?
Ento ge romo teore ni ning yo maber.
So after 1 month we should do. By that time the committee shall have gotten all the facts.
Eno wajo ni itamu ni kage miyo dwe achiel inge dwe achiel no committee achiel o biro dok jami onyokwet maguno romo konyo.
This is what I propose.
Ene en tam matika katikwede.
Do you support it?
Utamu ningo uchwako tami enoni.
You support it? Those in favor say aye. Those are going to say no. Or the eyes have it, the nose are.
Manyoti ni kit maogamo kwere tien loke ni uchwako.
The no are manok.
Ni jo mapeo chwako ti manok.
Apoyo matek.
Ladiro poyo tutwal.
We have brought from the spectrum of they have come to listen.
By your presence and grateful for your, especially Northern Uganda. SACCO, which is in support for your leadership.
And